I'll tell you
this has broken some of the toughest people in the world.
The hardest weight cut I ever had.
Yeah.
Hardest one. I fought Pan Am Games in 2015 in Edmonton, Canada on a Wednesday, and I won. So I've made weight on Tuesday. I fought on Wednesday where I had to weigh in 5% of my weight class, so 84 kilos. On Wednesday, I was 84 kilos. I got on a plane on that Wednesday night and landed Friday morning in Sochi. Okay, so I've traveled now.
Mm-hmm.
I got on the scale, all my bags got lost. Everything. So somehow I flew from there to here, no bags, and I threw all of my stuff in my bag. I wore sandals, one pair of pants, and a t-shirt on the plane because I was like, I'm just tired. I just fought. Like, I don't even want to carry it. I don't care. What are the odds that I get there and my bags are gone?
Yeah, very low.
Very low. Sure enough, it's gone. I get all the way to Sochi. I check into the hotel. There's one sauna. Guess what? You have to reserve it. And you're only allowed to reserve it for an X period of time.
Guess get a small tangent. When you found out your bags are gone, this is something I'll often think about. There's like people that are helping you, right? Like there's a person in the airport who goes,
yep, oops, just like that.
And then the person at the hotel who tells you that you have to reserve the sauna and looks at you like you're,
yep.
They don't care that you've been suffering. They don't,
nope.
They're like,
they don't even understand why you need it.
Yeah, like why? Oh, this like like this little kid reserved it for 5 hours or something to block it off. So I'm sorry. Is there a frustration that gets in there? Are you
just accept reality? Okay. Don't even hinder on like the things you can't change. Because the second you get frustrated, the second you think you can change it, you'll harp on it, and that breaks most men.
Yeah,
that like little thing in the back of their mind thinking, oh, like, what if? There's no what if. Like, there's only right here, right now.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Let's just quickly come up with a solution to fix the problem.
By the way, as another small tangent, all the greatest people I've interacted with at the highest level think like that. They don't linger on the,
no.
It's like the next thing.
Yeah.
Because like if you want to do something great, hard stuff is going to keep happening to you. And if you're going to let that affect you, you're not ever going to do the great thing.
Yep.
It's fascinating, actually. Like, that's the one skill you have to learn. Elon Musk is great at this, constantly dealing with emergencies. Okay, this happened. What's the next step?
Yep.
Accept.
It's not that big of a deal. Every problem has a solution.
Yeah.
And if I can't solve it, it's not my problem. You want me to do?
Yeah, exactly. So what? So how'd you figure it out? In sandals?
Get this. I get to the hotel.
Yeah.
I check in. I don't even know about the sauna yet. I go, I need to find a clothing store. I'm in the middle of Russia. I open up Google Maps and I'm like, sports store. I find an Adidas sports store in the middle of Sochi, Russia, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
I spend like $500 on like average sweats, no plastics, no nothing, and no running shoes because they don't have any.
What's the temperature outside? Is it cold?
It was kind of like springish, so it wasn't cold, but it wasn't hot.
Yeah. So you still need a lot of layers, preferably.
You would need a lot of layers just to cut the amount of weight I'm about to tell you I have to cut, because after I bought that stuff that next morning, and mind you, it's a Friday morning, I go to the venue where we have the mats open to train, and I step on the scale. And then Sagan Batar of Mongolia goes, oh, pretty good. You're almost there. And I go,
oh, no.
No.
Oh, no.
I'm not. I stepped on the scale at almost 94 kilos. And I looked at him and I was like, I'm 81. And he went, good luck.
You're almost there.
Yeah. For the next weight class above.
Is this on a Saturday or Sunday?
Friday morning.
No, sorry. Friday morning, the competition is when?
Sunday. I weigh in Sunday.
Okay.
And I'm like, holy crap. I throw on all my layers, and there's one other person with me there, Kalita, who's my girlfriend at the time, now my wife. We start doing judo because I'm like, this will be the easiest way to knock off like 3 or 4 kilos. Well, it's cold. I have no gi, and I'm working out with a female, I can't get like overly physical to like really get my muscles going to really break that sweat, because she has to compete in a day or two to do this. She's not a training partner. You can't just use this person.
Mm-hmm.
I stepped on the scale. I was 91 kilos. So I went, well, I was a nice dent, but
After
like
a workout.
Yeah, I go, that's not going to fly. So sure enough, the clothes are now ruined. They didn't help me lose any extra weight. So I go back to the hotel and I start reserving the sauna. Do you know how hard it is to lose that much weight in a sauna by yourself?
So it's hard on many levels, but one of them is just mental.
Yeah.
You're sitting in heat.
And you're not doing anything. Like if there had been a bike, or like the sauna was big enough to use a jump rope, or you could do some sort of activity, but you just sit and you stew and you're there mentally. At one point during the weight cut, I actually had my mouth on the bottom part of the door where there was a little gap, and my legs up on the benches, and Kalita holding the door so that it didn't open, so I couldn't open it, so that I could lean against that thing and have fresh air. Because I was struggling.
And we're talking about, I mean, how many hours is that?
Hours. And then the thing is because you have to reserve the sauna, I can't even take like a 30-minute break, because the sauna's not going to be mine in an hour.
Yeah.
Which means you have to use the sauna in the heat for that allotted time period. And I hate saunas.
Yeah.
That is always my last resort. I will use a bath. I will train. I will run. I will jump rope. Sauna is like, oh, let me do that for 10 minutes after all of my gym workouts, just to keep the sweat going while I stretch and cool down. That's never like the, hey, I'm going to do 5-10 minute sessions because I need to lose 2 kilos. That is never the plan.
Yeah. But I mean, so I've done plenty of sauna for weight cuts to know I can't even imagine what you went through.
Yeah.
The seconds slow down. That's one way to achieve immortality, is like the time slows down to like a stop. And you're left alone with your thoughts. You can't do anything. Just like you said, you can't.
There's nothing worse than sitting in that kind of heat for 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you walk out and you're not even sweating.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than that.
And if you like, and maybe if you weigh yourself, which you probably shouldn't be doing because it'll break you.
Yep.
You haven't lost anything.
Yep. And I was weighing myself every time, because I only get breaks when I was hitting weight allotments. Mm-hmm. So if I could lose 0.3 in 10 minutes, I'd give myself a break. But I had to hit certain numbers because I only have the sauna for a certain amount of time. And I remember one time I went downstairs to get my key to the sauna, and the Japanese team had reserved it and took it from me because the guy didn't put my name on the list when I called down to get the sauna. So I lost an entire session that I had to get made up towards the later part of the day because I still have no running shoes. And then sure enough, my bags show up 30 minutes after weigh-ins.
Yeah.
Great.
That's like the universe just kind of giving you a little wink there.
Yep.
I think like, because so few people do this weight cut at this high of a level, people don't often realize, because people get a sense of how hard it is to run 200 miles in the desert. Like because they go outside here in Texas, you can run 5 miles. Oh, it's hard. But like the weight cut is really, can you, so you just, like, how did you do it? Just fucking not refusing to.
You have to make weight.
You have to make weight. And you just, that's.
I am astounded when I hear like UFC fighters like miss weight. Right? Like when Jaden Cox missed weight at the Olympic trials, I was like, at least his was understandable because he missed the actual weigh-ins. He wasn't like not on weight. Mm-hmm. But when UFC fighters like miss weight, I'm like, how did that happen? You clearly like gave up a long time ago. There were times where I was like, well, I can't do this. There have been times where I've been in a sauna suit wrestling with a training partner who's probably 60 kilos who fought earlier that day to lose 0.3.
To lose 0.3. Like, are you considering your mortality in this moment? Like, aren't you thinking you're going to die? Because, like, it's severe dehydration. You could damage your body. Are you thinking about any of this? or is it just man. Okay, yes.
But see, I'm on the other level too, where like I've been in Belgium, right? Belgium, there used to be a B level tournament, and the tournament used to go on. And because I was always on the heavier side, like 81's fights on the second day, which is the heavyweight day, weigh-ins were always at like, let's say 2 p.m. the day before for that tournament. Well, there was a sauna at the tournament. I remember like being in the sauna and like, oh, I'm 80.9 kilos. Weigh-ins aren't for 3 hours. Fuck it, I'm gonna have lunch. Because I mentally understand that what I eat right now is gonna fuel me for tomorrow.
Right.
So I don't want to skip it. I have the time to put it into my system and still lose it.
Right. It's almost like a computer program. You're running through the process. You have I get it, but like that all relies on your ability to be
to get it back off.
Yeah, I mean, but also just like go through this process, which is painful. It's like those monks who meditate while sitting in a fire, kind of thing, or something, right? Like it's really interesting. Is there other people that are critical to this, or is this all internal to you? Are there people that
everybody has their own way of doing it? Some people don't cut that much. Some people can't weight cut at all, right? They would rather have been like 83 kilos fighting 90 than, be 83 kilos fighting 81.
So why did you never move up to 90? What's your sense? Is it from your deep understanding of your own judo and the judo opponents you would face at 90 and 81? Because 81 is probably the hardest, if not the second hardest division in the history of judo compared to 73 and 81.
When I was a kid, like I always wanted to be like the middleweight Olympic champion, like the 81 kilo Olympic champion. When I was in high school, I made a decision when I was trying to make weight for 73. I was like, dude, I was cutting weight for 73 like I was cutting weight at the end of my career. Right? And I was like, I'm just going to bag it. I'm going to accept the fact that I may not make a junior world team. I may not make this team, but I'll grow into the division. So when I'm a senior player, like I'm ready to go and I'll naturally be stronger. There's an understanding of like a growth process when you move up a weight class. Most people can't just, I'm going to fight 90s and I'm going to win because I won at 81. The style of judo is different. How you move is different. How they do things is different. There's like a learning curve that goes into it. And because the weight cut didn't really happen until I was getting ready for Rio, I wasn't about to have my last Olympic Games be at a different weight class that I may or may not be able to grow into.
I mean, this is an awesome story of you kind of decided that this will be your life's work in terms of judo competitor is like the 81 division. I don't know if you saw it that way, but you're talking about 3 Olympics. And it's like this story of, I would say, tragedy and triumph of just wars and 81 kilograms with the usual cast of characters of the, top 5 in the world kind of thing. So you just became a scholar of that, let your body grow into it, and then let your body outgrow it and still suffer through it to keep it in the 81 kilograms. You never competed at the highest levels at 90.
I entered one tournament at 90 kilos. And that was because before Rio, from the end of 2014 all the way up until Rio's, every time I fought, I got hurt. Every time. There was no time where I made weight and got injured because my body weight was so high, my body fat was so low that by the time I dehydrated enough to get down there, and you take the physicality of judo and throw that into the mix, something broke every time. It was like nature of the beast. So the plan was, before Rio, we made an agreement with USA Judo that, Travis, you're going to fight 90 kilos, but you're not going to weigh in at 90 kilos. Like, hey, there's no you get to be 94 kilos and cut to 90s. There's you're going to step on the scale at 84 kilos, like a little bit of a weight cut, but not a full one, just so that you feel like you get into the tournament. Because around 2012, when I was talking with the USOC nutritionist, I actually got my weight down so much that I didn't really need to cut weight. The problem is I wasn't cutting weight. I didn't feel like I was competing.
Got it.
Right? You have to go through like that mental process. And I never really reworked that. It was easier to just cut the weight and be ready to go. But when I entered into the 90 kilo division, I was rushed to the hospital the night after because my body broke out in hives, like full body.
Why?
They said it was stress-induced.
Fascinating.
So a month before the games, I was hospitalized in Hungary and filled with steroids to get the hives to drop. And every couple days, my body, when I got back home, I would end up in the hospital because my whole body would break out again.
I wonder if it's like deviating from the process that you so like perfectly crafted already.
Or it was stress from my mind thinking, like, even though it's not top of mind, there's probably a portion of me that like the Olympics is coming around and it could be my last. That like my body just reacted to something chemically, so I was breaking out in hives. I actually bought like a 600 euro Hugo Boss suit because when I was in the Netherlands training at the time, I thought I had bed bugs because I was getting bit everywhere. Mm-hmm. Then I thought there was something in the detergent at the local thing, so I threw away all my clothes. Like I was paying for showers because I was trying to get the detergent off my body and buying new clothes at the airport. Trying to figure it out.
And just go, accepting the situation. I mean, but the level of stress is exceptionally high here.